Cruising fast, we're on the roll, we're on the roll. Wheels are high, we're in control. Cruising with the soul stabs, feel the spark. Electric rides lighting up the dark. Fast or slow, we'll take the wheel. This is the drive, the real deal. Cruising with the soul stats, let's ignite. EV power, feels so right.
Okay, today is travel day on the maiden voyage of the 2024 Silverado EV RST Max battery pack. We don't know how far this thing is going to go, honestly. It is charged to 100%, and it is reporting that we will have 274 miles. We shall see how that holds up on this trip. We have lots of chargers along the way, though. Not going to be an issue. Behind it, we have the 2025 Octa Willow with the Rover package, 26 feet. Trailer weighs empty, or at least without water, 5,750 pounds, so it's a fairly light trailer. It's an off-road version. The Rover, they raise it 3 inches, I think. Set up for off-grid with 600 watts of solar. Probably could use some more, and we'll add more. And 460 amp hours of lithium battery. This truck replaces a 2024 F450 Power Stroke that, honestly, I'm just not sure about the long-term durability anymore. So we shall see how it pulls. I did do a test pull a week ago, and it actually pulled just fine. Actually, sounds silly, but pulled better than the F450. One change I did make with this is added the load leveler hitch with sway control. I don't think I'm gonna need it, but why not? The other thing is the RST model of this truck has active suspension, air ride suspension, and so it automatically levels the load when hitched up. All right, so there you have it. We are just completing our final packing this morning, and we are gonna hit the road. We'll keep you posted along the way. All right, we're coming up on the Lenny Creek Tunnel, and it is tradition when you go through this tunnel that you have to honk your horn. And I'm telling you, this is the real thing. We didn't do this one time, and we got in a car accident, and then another time we didn't do it. We ended up getting a ticket. So it's really critical that you do this. So far on the trip, we're running at 0.8 miles per kilowatt hour. We went 27 miles, and it still says we have 219 miles to go, and it says, or no, we have, yeah, to destination 156 miles, and it says we're going to be at 42% when we get to Steamboat Rock State Park. So it'll be real interesting to see how that holds up. I think we're going to be a little less than that, something tells me. That's it for now. Okay, heading up Stevens Pass, and 52 miles an hour. Thing is real easy to speed. It's not easy keeping it under control. Right now, going up the pass, we're literally burning 163 kilowatt hours heading up this mountain, and it says we have 159 miles to go. And as far as range, we have 141 miles to the state park, but that's going to adjust. We're going to head down the backside of the pass here in a few minutes, and when we do that, we're going to really start regenerating some power. And so we're 42.9 miles in on the trip, and I hate to say this, but it pulls better than the F450, and it's not even close. So you can enjoy the views of the pass. Fall colors are coming in. Beautiful. Skies are starting to break open. I think that's probably it for now. We'll see how Regeneration goes down on the backside of the pass.
Go.
Okay, we are heading down the backside of the pass, now regenerating. And it looks like it's regenerating at 50 kilowatt hours, which is good, maintaining 53 miles an hour. I could go slower actually, so it'll be interesting to see how much power we regain heading down this backside. I think I'll turn the gain down on the brake controller a little bit though, so we are getting more regen. Now we're regenning 70 kilowatt hours. We're 46 miles in. I still haven't hit the brakes yet. Pulling the trailer, so the regeneration is working. Just a beautiful day in the Pacific Northwest. Nice and sunny on the east side of the mountains now. And I think it's going to be a good trip. That's it for now. Okay, here we are. So we are at the rest area on the other side of the pass, and these are the vitals so far. We're at 62.7 miles, 0.8 kilowatt hours. We have 158 miles of range according to the gauge. Battery is at 67%. And then when I look over here at the data, we have 121 miles to go. So I actually think we're going to be able to go all the way to Steamboat, but we'll see when we get into Wenatchee what we look like as far as like power and all that kind of stuff. We may stop anyway and just top it off. It's our first trip. We don't necessarily want to risk it for the biscuit here, but let's get out and take a look. Make sure everything is still in good shape. Looks like it is. The hitch is still hitched. That's good. Yeah, everything looks good. It's like a beautiful sunny day in eastern Washington. There's supposed to be some smoke for the next couple days, but then clear up a little. So anyway, that's it for now. All right, heading through the Tumwater Canyon. Such a beautiful territory. off to the side. Trying to look and see if we can see some salmon. We haven't seen any yet. So far as vitals, is we've went 75 miles. We're at 64% battery. We are at 0.9 kilowatts per mile, which puts us close to 200 miles total range. We have 109 miles to destination and 160 miles of range left. Well, 157 according to the gauge. So, in the meantime, take in some of these views. Such beautiful country. We're on Highway 2, east of Stevens Pass, right before Leavenworth, Washington. We have some winds that have picked up a little bit, although it seems calm right here, right now. Pretty amazing. So far, impressions with pulling with the truck is I can't even believe how well it's working. It is more stable. There is less sway. There is less porpoising, less bucking. Of course, it's quieter. And I think, range-wise, I literally think we're going to make it all the way to the park without charging. So, okay, if you haven't, you must stop at the Heidelberger. Some of the best burgers along this trip by far. Time to do some ordering. Okay, we grabbed some food at the Heidelberger, some burgers and tater tots, and thought, you know, we're gonna sit and eat for a while. We might as well connect up to a charger and do some charging. So we have 84 miles left, and if I do vehicle off, it says we're gonna be to 80% in 15 minutes. We're at of all the places, a Circle K gas station, and they don't have the fastest chargers, but they're 180 kilowatt. That's just charging away, but it's, you know, it's just a gas station. They are putting in more here, it looks like, a couple more, and they do have one up here that we didn't block. So, you know, we could unhook the trailer if we wanted to be nice, but shoot, there's no one here, so it's not that big of a deal. But again, the trip so far has been great. There are some fires over here though, and the air is, it's getting a little, she's getting a little smoky, I'm not gonna lie. So hopefully we drive out from underneath that at some point. But at least on this trip so far, I absolutely could not be happier with the performance of everything. I guess I'll add, I don't know if this is gonna come through or not, but this is what we're charging at. 171 kilowatts. So far we've spent $12.90. So, not bad. Okay, just recapping the charging session. We just took it to 80%. We actually don't need any more than that for to get to our destination. So went to 80%, cost $23, and so we have another hour and a half to go, 84 miles, and we should have 58% on arrival. So here we go. Okay, here we go. Going up Pine Canyon, and this is a long, hot, steep grade. I know in the ice vehicles, this can test your systems in the summertime. But yeah, we'll see how it does. We're just starting up it here, and it's a long, long ways. Enjoy the views in the meantime.
Mountains rise like a jagged crown. The canyons whisper, don't break down. The desert's laughing, dry and mean. But we've got boats, we're running clean. They said we stall, they said we fail. We feel stretching like a golden tail. Electric horizons, we're chasing the sun. Batteries burning, but we're not done. Electric horizons, we're chasing the sun. Batteries burning, but we're not done. Steamboat rock will prove it's true. We'll make it there, just watch us do. Mother-in-law with a knowing grin. That EV dream, it's wearing thin, but the road hums loud, a rebel soon. The lake ahead, we're coming soon. Plugged in hope, charged with fire, climbing higher, we won't tire. Electric horizons, we're chasing the sun. Batteries burning, but we're not done. Steamboat rock will prove it's true. We'll make it there, just watch us do. We'll make it there, just watch us do. We're chasing the sun. Batteries burning, but we're not done. Steamboat rockers, we'll prove it's true. We'll make it there, just watch us do. Whoa, fall down and make it there. Shots of fire, climbing higher, we won't tire, we won't tire. It's wearing thin, but the road arms loud, for rebels too. The lake ahead will coming soon. Locked in hope, charged with fire, climbing higher, we won't tire. We won't tire.
Okay, technically we don't need to charge right here, but I did want to test these Tesla superchargers just to see how well they work. It looks like they're running about 185 kilowatt hours on the charging. So it's charging at 380 miles an hour. And as you can see, looks like it'll be 80% in 20 minutes. We probably won't stick around here that long though. I just wanted to check it out, make sure it works, check the ease of the charging. This is the new Tesla charging station here with the latest chargers. It's pretty nice. Tell you what, this truck has a massive battery. I like that they have garbage cans here too. That's good. There's the lake over there. White caps on the lake. A little windy. I like the wind, so. Anyway, we'll check back after a little bit.
Less than 10 miles to go. Silverado hums. Banks Lake's calling under that big northwest sun. 35 summers packed up the same old way. Friends and family chasing yesterday. I see the blue, I feel the pull. A place that's more than waterfall. Banks Lake bound, where the warm winds play. Skipping stones and memories made. Banks Lake bound, it's in my soul. A piece of heaven, 10 miles to go. The kids are grown now, but their laughter stays. Echoes off the cliffs where we spent our days. The scent of pine, the crackle of a fire. 35 years, and I'll never tire. I see the blue, I feel the pull. A place that's more than waterfall. Banks Lake bound, where the warm winds play. Skipping stones and memories made. Banks Lake bound, it's in my soul. A piece of heaven, 10 miles to go. The kids are grown now, but their laughter stays. Echoes off the cliffs where we spent our days. The scent of pine, the crackle of a fire. A piece of heaven, 10 miles to go. Every ripple tells a story, every wave's a song. This lake's been our refuge, where we all belong. The moon will rise, and we'll toast the stars. This place holds our hearts, no matter how far. I see the blue, I feel the pull. A place that's more than waterfall. Banks Lake bound, where the warm winds play. Skipping stones and memories made. Banks Lake bound, it's in my soul. A piece of heaven, 10 miles to go. This place holds our hearts, no matter how far.
Well, we did make it to Steamboat Rock State Park, got all set up. Everything's ready. Overall, the trip today was actually pretty amazing. I'm absolutely shocked on how well this electric truck did. Pretty incredible. You know, we really rolled the dice with this thing coming out of a F450 that could have pulled anything anywhere. Campsite all set up. Relaxing in the chairs. I guess one advantage to this park is it has little to no cell data, so we'll be able to actually turn ourselves off this weekend and enjoy the place. That's it. We'll catch you on the return trip. Okay, it is Friday the 26th, day one at Steamboat Rock State Park. Woke up to a nice, beautiful sunny day today. I actually checked with the park folks and they said we absolutely can charge the truck on the 50 amp service here. So I had to kind of jockey the truck in here because I only have the supplied charging cord, which is 22 feet long, and I need about 30 feet. So I had to kind of park the truck almost up against the trailer to get the plug to fit in there. And everything's extended pretty darn tight. Then you can hit the gauge stuff. All right. Well, we are on our way home. We're actually trying to make it from Steamboat Rock all the way home on one charge. And that was one charge at the state park, which they allowed us to charge at. And so we have 45 miles to go. It should be pretty much downhill the rest of the way, honestly. And it says we should have 32% battery when we get home. Total miles so far, 387 miles round trip. We're 139 miles on this trip so far. It says we have 65 miles until empty. We have 44 miles to go. We should have 32% when we get home. I'm not sure I believe that. I think it's going to be closer to maybe 10-15%, but we shall see. It's downhill for the rest of the way. We'll let you know how it pans out. Okay, so we are probably 5-6 miles from home now. So, flawless trip home. We actually went from Banks Lake, Washington, all the way home, which, let's see here, we don't have to guess. Looks like 177 miles, so about 183 miles total. Yeah, it looks like we have 6.1 miles to home. We made the whole trip on one charge, so 25% looks like what we'll have when we get home. And yeah, overall 425 miles, 1.1 kilowatt hours. There's a little bit of driving without a trailer, but overall super impressed, super happy. Tow's better than the F450 by far. I know it just sounds ridiculous, but it's true. And yeah, really great. I will have a recap to put on the end of it for the whole trip, but really that's about it. Okay, so it's time to close this video out. What a great trip. It is so nice. Those that haven't been to Banks Lake, if you live anywhere here in the Pacific Northwest, it's worth the trip to go there. It's just a fantastic place. Be warned, cell coverage is terrible and data is terrible. You will truly unplug for the weekend. But other than that, it was great. I wanted to kind of give some impressions. This would be the first real trip with our truck of towing, 400 and some miles. And the truck has just absolutely performed flawless. The story of it is that we came out of a 2024 F450 Power Stroke, high output diesel, the ultimate truck, honestly, for hauling and what have you. And so this was a huge risk. It was a huge test on how this truck was going to operate. in comparison to the other truck. And one of the complaints I had with the other truck is it actually, because of the stiffness of the truck, it did a couple things. Number one, it put too much stress on the trailer, like with bumps and what have you. The truck didn't absorb anything. And when you hitch the trailer to the truck, it literally, I don't think it went down a half an inch. So it was just a lot of truck for the trailer that we have. The trailer weighs 5,700 pounds empty. You get all of our stuff and some water in it. It's, probably 6,300 pounds, I would imagine, with all the food and everything. So it's not a heavy trailer. And so it really was overkill for the truck. But because it didn't move the suspension down on the truck, it move it down to where it hit the overloads. Let me get this camera right here. Because it didn't move it down to where it hit the overloads, we had this weird 2-3 inches of spring in the truck to where the truck would really porpoise super bad. And quite shocking. It actually would have been better if the trailer would have had another 1,000 pounds on the tongue or something to get it into those overload springs, because then it would have forced, couldn't have moved up and down then. It couldn't have porpoised too much. And but it did. It was almost uncomfortable, actually. The other thing is, the truck just seemed like it was always shifting, and it seemed like it was always in the wrong gear. And so I would have to manually shift the truck. Of course, I would use tow haul mode, and it just seemed like it was always in the wrong gear. It was always shifting down when you're going over mountains, and trying to find that right gear. And then down the other side, going down the mountain, it wouldn't shift down enough to get enough exhaust brake to really be super effective. So I again would manually shift it down to get it in the good exhaust brake spot to make sure that we weren't using too much service brakes. Now, with the Silverado EV, I'm not kidding you, we just made over 400 miles towing this trailer, and we were going over some really serious grades in this trip on Highway 2. And in all of those miles, I never hit the service brakes once. Of course, when you're stopped, you have to hit the brake to put it in drive or reverse. You have to do that. But short of that, while driving, the brakes on the truck were never hit once. Coming down Stevens Pass, in fact, we generated over 30 miles of range with Regeneration. So, I really have to say that the truck, super impressive. When it comes to power, there is no question that truck will outpower any of the modern diesel trucks that are made right now stock. My F450 was 500 horsepower and 1,200 foot-pounds torque, and I swear this truck would just work circles around it, like it's not even funny. And that seems very strange to me. The other thing with the truck, there's a couple other things that are really enjoyable. The first one is it has the active suspension. And with the active suspension, the truck really, the handling on the truck seems to be always right where it needs to be. When I first hitched the trailer to the truck, I thought, oh no, and you've seen this earlier in the video, this thing is really squatting, only to find out that within, a minute, it literally had auto leveled itself out. Well, it's
doing that while you're driving too. I actually don't know all the technology that goes into the suspension. I know it's air suspension because I can hear that, but if there's a MagneRide component to it, but it really, really holds the load absolutely flawless. It's incredible, actually. So, yeah, so then the other thing would be, compared to the modern diesels, all that shifting and drivetrain noise and all the drama that goes on with just driving them, towing, is just gone. There absolutely is zero drama. The truck is absolutely silent while you're driving. Just, a little bit of wind noise, and there just isn't a hill, and some of them are pretty good passes that we went over that I couldn't have done 100 miles an hour if I felt like it. The power was just literally instant and unlimited. And so then that really just leads to really the biggest change, I guess, would be range. And calculated with our trailer and our round trip, it works out that I think we would be, if we went to empty, which we never would do, we're looking at about 240 miles of range, total range pulling. So if you gave yourself, 20, 30 miles of buffer, you're talking, a little over 200 miles. I think you could just safely say you have a good 200 mile range pulling over mountain passes and across Washington State. If you were in the flatlands, of course, that would go up quite a bit, but that's not where we live. So, but I think that's probably it. I have no regrets buying this truck and swapping out the F450 for it. I think that we filled up I say filled up the tank, but we charged to 100% at Steamboat Rock State Park, which we asked them if we could do, and they said no problem. And we charged that up to 100%. That took us all the way home. So I think our total cost for this trip is about $30. Yeah, $30 in electricity, and really probably 20 of that. The total cost really would have been, I guess, closer to $12, $15. But we did test some charging at a Tesla charger because I really do need to test this stuff while we're out and running. We didn't need to charge, but I just wanted to double check and make sure that everything's working perfectly, so when the day comes when you do need it, you have it. And so, it's from a cost perspective, they're not even in the same league. And so you figure that out across 100, 200,000 miles, and now you're talking some serious money. So anyway, I hope this video gives you some idea of pulling with the new Silverado EV. Absolutely loved it, and I guess stay tuned for our next trip. Thank you all.